Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And today is March 7th, and I tagged two of you on this. Barbara, I love what you posted. And if I asked you to name all the things that you love, how long would it take for you to name yourself? And someone wrote too long. So let's read this and let's do some tapping. March 7th. And I thought this was so fascinating that this was the quote from today's reading. Talk about divinely appointed. You alone are enough. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Maya Angelou. Oh, if only I believed this. Yet what if I do believe this over time? What if, as I tap through my beliefs around not being enough, or the need to explain myself or prove myself to anyone, I find relief. And when I find relief, I feel freer. I might notice that someone disagrees with me, and I can be okay with that without feeling the need to explain myself. I might notice that someone criticizes me, and it rolls off. I don't get attached to their criticism. I'm free when these moments happen. I'll take more of these moments, please. How do I get to these moments? I get to them by tapping when I find I'm believing I'm not enough or I have something to prove. As I go into these learned limits, I uproot them and they release their grip on me a little more each time I do. Over time, as my thoughts naturally become more positive, what I see outside of me becomes more positive. If I remind myself that change happens in little increments, it's likely I'll stop putting so much pressure on myself to see fast results. I didn't believe these limits about myself overnight. They were imprinted with a lot of repetition, and this is actually a pathway to turning this around for me. Thought for the day: what if today I can find one moment to interrupt my thoughts around feeling like I'm not enough, not feeling like I'm enough? What if that is enough for today? So let's do some, we definitely want to do some tapping, or I want to do some tapping on this idea that, we're not enough, that I don't love myself, because that's what I've found is this journey is this incremental place to go, no, I'm a good person. I do love myself. Yes, do I make mistakes? Am I flawed and foibled? Sure, but to even be able to laugh about those things is huge, to find that and start to find more humor about our humanity. But I always think of the Joker. Heath Ledger was the one started, why so serious? But that's how most of us learn to be super serious about ourselves and what's going on. God knows I can. Oh my God. I can just get roped into it. So it's a practice. So karate chop. Even though when I think about saying I love myself, I kind of want to cringe. I mean, that's not humble. I choose to acknowledge I feel this way now. Even though a long time ago, I got wired backwards. Meaning I got taught to think less of myself, as if that makes me humble. I choose to acknowledge this truth right now. Even though somewhere along the way, probably all along the way, I learned to think less of myself. But I'm open to seeing this differently now. Go to the eyebrow. I learned to think less of myself. The idea of saying I love myself, oh my God, that feels foreign to me. But what if what's really happening here is I just have a perception problem. I learned to see myself as not enough. I somehow learned to believe I'm not worthy. And what if these are lies that feel like truths, but they're still lies? And they're just thoughts that have a lot of momentum going. Thoughts like, I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I don't have what it takes. I don't even matter. They're just thoughts that have a ton of momentum because they're thoughts I've been thinking for decades. And what if the more I catch myself in these thoughts and interrupt them, the more I find relief from them. And then I start to notice I believe them less and less. And then over time I notice I'm starting to feel better about myself. And I start to remember the truth of my being. Truths like, I was born brilliant. Born deserving of my own love, my own respect. Born deserving of every good thing. Born worthy. These may not feel true yet, but what if the more I keep catching myself in the act of thinking less of myself and interrupting that, the more I start to feel better? And what if the day will come, maybe even sooner than I think, that I realize I do love myself. I do feel good about myself. And I'm very human. And I even love that about me too. And what if this makes all the difference? Take a breath. So I've talked about this before. Hey, Michelle, your resting thought rate, like I said, I started to pay attention to my thoughts. I'm like, holy crap, that is a cesspool of negative thinking that goes on up here. It was like, I called it the voice that's trying to kill me, because that's how demonic and potent great, Michelle, how demonic my voice. It's like, you'll never make it. Who do you think you are? You're a piece of shit. I can't believe you said that to that person. Who do you think you are? Like, that's how mine sounds. And I still catch it. And I think you all know what I tell it to do. But it's catching that in the act. And not to, again, I'll say this a million times, not to sit around all day thinking about it, but just when you start to catch, like, you're feeling bad about yourself, it's like, who's running my show? And who am I believing here? And is this the voice I want telling me who I am? And just keep interrupting. And over time, you will start to notice, God, I just feel better. I feel less, this feels less true. I feel less negatively about myself. And you'll even find humor over time about when you catch it and like, oh my God, there I go again. And that's when you know you're really changing your physiology and your cellular biology. So notice those little wins too. Have a great day, Michelle, and everyone else that watches this. That's it for now, and see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.